population. And therefore, the more airlines we have flying in, the better, to encourage and make it more convenient for people to travel. I was so glad, it was heartwarming the day I went to the airport to receive Air Asia that flies from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia to Nairobi. And it is the first Air Asia flight into the African continent. It will serve the Asia Pacific region. And in that particular flight, we had travelers from Japan, from China, from India, from Singapore, Philippines, as far as Australia. We also have received, there are a lot of applications, and the Ministry of Transport is looking at the people who, the airlines that would like to land in Kenya. So that is really good for us. And we do hope, at least from a tourism ministry perspective, the more access, the more flights we get into to Nairobi, the better.
And perhaps we can still stick with investment because of the industry players that we are seeing them coming into the country. What are those strategies so far put in place to ensure that now this is one of the most attractive sectors?
Yes, with our target to welcome 5 million tourists annually from 2027, it is then incumbent upon our country to ensure that we have the correct infrastructure to accommodate the growing number of visitors. This then presents investment opportunities in tourism facilities, that is hotels for accommodation, recreational facilities, even tourist products, the eco-lodges. As a country, under His Excellency, we have seen a focus on improvement of infrastructure like the road network. We need to improve on our airport. So there are quite a lot of opportunities for investments just in this tourism sector.
And how is the performance so far because there is a body for marketing Magical Kenya, and there is also, just the other day you were talking about the investment put on the tourism fund. A lot has been happening in this sector. Perhaps you can briefly tell us about that.
So we have the Kenya Tourism Board that manages the brand Kenya. So the brand Kenya is a product of Kenya Tourism Board, and their mandate is to promote tourism in this country. They are the custodian of the menu and inventory of all our tourism products. They have a duty to brand Kenya and market it across the world. So they have all these activities towards that. And I'll tell you, brand Kenya is one of the most accepted brands. And it is true, it's not just a word, it's not just a cliche. If you look at Kenya all the way from the north to the coast, and everything that we have, the hidden gems, the things that are so unique, Kenya is indeed magical. Iko juu. It's a 1 year baby, 1 year old. How old is Dubai?
Dubai is 23 years old, a southern white rhino. Yeah, currently in Kenya, we have the black rhino and the southern white rhino.
Perhaps the last one for me, when it comes to future projections, so far, what is in store for this industry?
In terms of numbers, of course, a target to get 5 million, at least 5 million travelers annually into Kenya. We also have an outlook of increasing the contribution to the economy from the current almost 400 billion to probably $1 trillion in the years to come. We see quite a lot of investment opportunities. Some of the ones that need to be refurbished and renovated and upgraded. We require a lot more infrastructure and facilities. So it's one of the sectors that will attract investments In terms of employment, we have about 1.5 million Kenyans working in the hospitality and tourism sector. So the more numbers we increase, I'm told one tourist, because of the value chain, may be able to attract about 11 employments. So you can see the multiplier effect. Foreign currency earnings for the country. That's another big win for the tourism sector. Economic empowerment. Even the local communities. We have seen a lot of ecologists in the communities. And so it is a sector that is on an uprise. And we want to thank His Excellency. He has been on the front line promoting Kenya and promoting tourism, which makes our work a little much easier. But
since you mentioned about the communities, I was just wondering about the correlation. How is it so far? Because earlier on, in the previous years, we've seen issues on coexistence between the wildlife and the people living around the reserves. How is it so far? And also speak to us just a little about the compensations to those affected.
That's a very good question. Communities naturally embrace wildlife, but they also get very upset when there is human-wildlife conflict, and immediately they lose their crops, their investments, and even life. They're really upset, and it agitates them. We are working and concluding on a strategy for human-wildlife coexistence, and that calls for a lot more economic empowerment for the communities, so that removes the need for communities to go into the areas that are reserved for wildlife to look for their water, to look for their resources and even food. And also you make sure that the animals have enough water, enough foliage, and they don't then need to wander into where human beings are. So that strategy is critical. We thank the community so far. They are so resilient. It is incumbent on government, and His Excellency is leading us in this. First, he has given us clear instructions that communities must be at the center of what we do, the conservation efforts and all that. But we are also coming up with innovative ways of resource mobilization, so that we can put some of the barriers that will reduce human-wildlife conflict, like fences. We are doing a few in Savo West and other parks and reserves, so that will also help. In terms of compensation, there has been a backlog, and we know people waiting for compensation have not been happy. But earlier this year, His Excellency launched or relaunched the compensation process. Over the last 2 years, 1.8 billion has been paid out in terms of compensation. Our target is to clear the backlog, and then going forward, we should be on time and current in compensation. We are embracing technology. We have an online portal where the claims are reported. So when the county wildlife compensation committees verify the claims, they are then electronically, or they are digitized, and that promotes efficiency, speed, and removes fraud. So it's a very interesting space. The wildlife economy, which was in the government's manifesto, we will focus on that, because where communities see the benefit of having wildlife, and then they are more embracive. And working together with KWS, we have seen the uptick from the communities. Lastly, just 2 weeks ago, we had a pass-out parade for over 1,000 rangers, which then fills the resource shortage gap. So we'll have more people, more equipment to deal with the human-wildlife conflict with more speed, with more efficiency. And even in partnership with counties, this tourism and wildlife is a partnership.
Yeah.
We work closely with the private sector, with the counties, conservationists, the donor community. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That has
Thank
been
you.
quite insightful. We
Thank you
truly
very
appreciate
much.
your time. Thank
Asante.
you so much.
Mozart Casino Jackpot. Zungusha gurudumu la furaha. Kuwa mshindi. Mozart Bet.
Prepare the way when the fire is coming. People Daily, Kenya's trusted newspaper, is making history as the first daily to go fully digital. By transitioning from print to the PD News app, we are delivering the same exceptional journalism you've relied on for years in a completely new way to experience it. It's news for today and the future. No paper, no waste. Just real-time updates and customizable stories. This is a leap towards innovation, sustainability, and a better experience for you, our reader. Download the PD app now on Play Store and App Store. People Daily. News that moves with you.
Odibet Pepea na Mbuzi is here. Wekelea cash bet on these select crash games. Upepe na Mbuzi ya Christmas. Odibet, bet extraordinary.
Welcome back. I'm glad you're still watching K24's Evening Edition. My name is Joel Chacha. Moving on, 9 traffic officers have been arrested by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption
Commission confirms that in the last 2 weeks, the Commission has undertaken surveillance operation on major roads across the country with a view to identify cases of corruption that are involving police officers and motorists. And as a result of those surveillance operations, EACC has been able to arrest 9 travel to different parts of the country. From those operations, the Commission has arrested 9 traffic police officers from Nakuru at a place called Sagal, which is notorious for bribe collection. The second spot was in Kajiado along Nairobi-Namanga Road. And the third one was in Kisii along Kisii-Rongo Road.
Still a focus in the corridors of justice from the North Rift.
na JSC Judicial Service Commission waweze kuzingatia masala hiyo na waongeze makadhi ili waweze kuhudumia umma katika nchi yetu ya Kenya.
Tuna kilio chetu kwa kuwa makadhi wamekuwa wachache sana. Kulikuwa mbeleni makadhi 15 waandikwe, lakini ikatokea yaliyotokea. Siasa ikasimamishwa. Hilo hatutoliongelea. Lakini tunaongelea hawa walio retire, karibu 10 kama huyu ameondoka. Hizi nafasi zijazwe. Tutoe mfano hapa. Kadhi wa hapa Wasingishwa anasimamia kaunti 5. Sasa kadhi moja Nandi, Keio, West Pokot, Trans Nzoia na Wasingishwa nyingi.
Once we if this is not effected as early, maybe we will request that we have a meeting with the Chief Justice.
Well, time to get sporty, but before that, we take a breather. Stay with us.
Odibets Pepea na Mbuzi is here. Wekelea cash bet on these select
Angukia welcome bonus only on Mozart. Karibishwa kama mgeni. Register now on mozartbet.co.ke to angukia free bets and a free spins bonanza. Kuwa mshindi. Mozartbet.
K24 Sports News, powered by Mozartbet.
Angukia welcome bonus only on Mozart. Karibishwa kama mgeni. Register now on mozartbet.co.ke to angukia free bets and a free spins bonanza. Kuwa mshindi. Mozartbet.
Welcome back, and as promised, let's get sporty. The Kenya men's football team, Harambee Stars, have touched down in Zanzibar ahead of the Mapinduzi Cup set to kick off on Friday in Pemba Island. The Francis Kimanzi-led side consists of Byron Odhiambo, Farouk Shikalo, and Septimius Wekesa as the shot stoppers. Sylvester Wino, Hanif Wesonga, Alphonse Omija, Brian Okoth, Abud Omar, Siraj Mohammed, Roni Onyango, and Daniel Sakari are the defenders in the team. Meanwhile, the midfielders are Michael Mutinda, Crispin Rambo, Brian Musa, Kelly Madada, Austin Odhiambo, Kenneth Muguna, Ben Stanley Omondi, debutant Mohamed, Boniface Mushiri, Darius Msaga, and James Kinyanjui. Kenya, issuing the Mapinduzi Cup, is set to prepare for CHAN. Elsewhere, the magical Kenya Ladies Open MKLO has been dropped from the 2025 Ladies European Tour in the late 2025 season schedule announced on Wednesday. Magical Kenya Ladies Open for the last 2 years has served as the late season opener. However, in the new 2025 tour program, the MKLO leg is missing. The 2025 Ladies European Tour season will kick off in February in the Lala Marian Cup at the Royal Golf Dar es Salaam in Rabat, Morocco, before traveling to Saudi Arabia for the Aramco Series in Riyadh. In April, the tour will return to South Africa for a fortnight for the Johannesburg Ladies Open, making the end of late tour in Africa. This will be the third time magical Kenya Ladies Open will be missing from the late tour after the 2020 and 2021 editions were postponed due to COVID-19 pandemic.
South Africans so good out of bunkers. practice makes perfect. Rookie Gourlay, 4 under. They were joined at the top by an old hand, Ellie Givens. The Englishwoman, now in her 12th season, had 6 birdies in her first 8.
Now cross borders, Arsenal closed the gap on Premier League leaders Liverpool to 6 points as Gabriel Jesus extended his hot streak in a 3-1 win at Brentford on Wednesday. Mikel Arteta's side were rocked by Brian's first half, a goal at the Tech Community Stadium. However, Mikel Merino and Gabriel Martinelli mated in quick succession as soon after halftime to ensure Arsenal moved into second place above Nottingham Forest.
Party, good save, and he's put it on the follow-up by Jesus.
How quicker he's moving than Vandenberg. Just now. Just reacts.
Now comes Flecken, punches it straight into the traffic, and he's put it.
That ball comes right in underneath.
Meanwhile, injury-hit New York Knicks extended their winning streak to 9 games with 119-100 and actually 3 victory against the Utah Jazz on Thursday morning. Elsewhere, Toronto Raptors ended an 11-game losing streak with a 130-113 victory against Brooklyn Nets, while New Orleans Pelicans slipped to an 11th consecutive loss, the defeat by Miami Heat. Washington Wizards disposed of Chicago Bulls 125-107, while Sacramento Kings overtook Philadelphia 76ers with a late comeback win in California. Houston Rockets returned to winning ways with 110-99 victory against Dallas Mavericks.
And for me to walk on the floor as a coach, he goes, that's something that couldn't even imagine back in the day. As Bridges putting on some finishing touches. 25 for Bridges.
Mike, I can relate to that.
You're not the only one, Alex.
I know, but
to this day, 9 assists. Then you had Tyler Kolek backing up.
Mozart Bet.
Angukia welcome bonus. Only on Mozart. Karibishwa kama mgeni. Register now on mozartbet.co.ke to angukia free bets and a free spins bonanza. Kuwa mshindi. Mozart Bet.
And that's all here on K24's Evening Edition. My name is Joel Chacha. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good night.
Odibet's Pepe na Mbuzi is here. Wekelea cash bet on these select crash games. Upepe na Mbuzi ya Christmas. Odibet's bet extraordinary.
Mtumaini Bwana kwa moyo wako wote, wala usitegemee ufahamu wako mwenyewe. Katika njia zako zote mtambue, naye atazielekeza njia zako.